Today we'll be performing a microderm facial with added dermaplaning. We'll be using Skin Script products. Start by cleansing with green tea citrus cleanser, which is safe for all skin types, but will help degrease for a stronger enzyme treatment. We'll fully remove the cleanser with the sponges and water, and then tone with cucumber hydration toner, which has cucumber, hyaluronic acid, and all the essential fatty acids, omega-3, 6, 9, as well as heavy water. So it immediately hydrates the skin. Now we're going to perform a skin analysis. We're looking for any type of comedone we can extract, milia, informing the client of any conditions, skin conditions we see, dehydration. We're looking for anything that we might need to cover up, like perhaps a scratch, and we want to cover it up with something like an Aquaphor. I have an A&D ointment I do that for. Now we're going to perform a enzyme treatment. I'm choosing the raspberry peach enzyme. It has hibiscus flower acid, which is more brightening and more hydrating than lactic acid. It's a high tingle factor, so we're going to turn our steam back on and apply a generous layer with a fan brush and massage that in. And we'll leave it on for about 7 to 10 minutes. And the raspberry and peach are very gentle enzymes. Raspberry is anti-inflammatory. Most red fruits are anti-inflammatory to the skin topically. And we're going to perform this light massage and allow the steam to set in and do a hot compress, which will really further penetrate the enzyme, keep it active, and also help to melt any sebum that's in the impactions to make extractions easier. One common myth that steam does is enlarge the pores. The pores don't actually enlarge, but it does help to melt the impactions. Here we're doing effleurage, upward movements, trying to fight gravity a little. Okay, so now we'll fully remove the enzyme with the towel. Turn off the steam and start doing our extractions. I like to start on the nose because that's the area that's most distal and will become cooler faster. And my whole motto is never leave a mark. So if anything's gonna leave a mark, it's not worth it. As for milia extraction, if you have bloodborne pathogen certification and permanent makeup certification, you could do with the ultra thin lancet extractions. Here we're using an ultra thin lancet. They're disposable. You put that in the sharps. This is a crystallized sebum milia trapped underneath an outer layer of keratin. And those happen because of dehydration. One thing that can really help milia is doing a topical hyaluronic acid morning and night. When we're toning the skin and killing bacteria with the toner, and then removing any of the toner and any residue with water. And now we're going to perform high frequency to kill any bacteria. Also, high frequency creates ozone that's getting trapped under the layer of cotton that rapidly turns into oxygen. So not only does it kill bacteria, but it'll saponify sebum in the pore. So it turns sebum into soap, making it inert. So it really helps with post-facial acne. So now we're going to start our microdermabrasion, and we're going to do a crisscross pattern and then down, so that we're doing lymphatic drainage. And when the tissues have a little fluid underneath, trapped underneath the tissues, lymphatic drainage will really help to make the skin lay tighter on the muscles. So we're doing lymphatic drainage movement with the suction of the microderm to get the added benefits of tighter skin. And of course, microderm is exfoliating the stratum corneum layer. And why we do it after an enzyme is this: if you do it before, it can leave more marks. And also, we're trying to pull out any comedones that are left over after extraction. So here we're doing a thorough job on the nose with a different adapter, and then we'll also do the eye area, underneath the eye a few times and over the eye under the eyebrow. And we do want the skin dry for the added dermaplaning. So we'll dermaplane the skin dry. And I would look at a map for the direction of how you dermaplane. And you always want to pull the skin tight, and it needs to be nice and flat and tight. And you're always working within an inch or a couple inches. And this will help remove any of the remaining dead skin cells, the vellus hair. It's a really close exfoliation we're using German blades with. Now we want to just remove any of the hair with the sponges or any residual, and then add ageless hydrating serum, which is a peptide, 3 different advanced peptide serum with hyaluronic acid. Kind of want to quench the skin that way. And now we're going to perform a massage. I like to use rice bran oil because it's high in tocotrienols, vitamin E, and vitamin E derivatives, tocotrienols. And then I add 4 drops of lavender essential oil because lavender is it smells amazing, but it's so calming for the skin. It helps the skin heal. It'll bring down redness. So we're performing a massage starting on the arms. We're going to do a couple minutes on the arms, shoulders, and then clavicle, décolleté, and we're kneading the area and behind the shoulders and the neck, and that's really going to release tension in the face so that you could do a better face massage, and it really helps to relieve so much tension in the face, so you could do deeper massage in the face. And plus the shoulders, that's where everybody holds their tension. So I spend a few minutes here. And I also like to work out any of the knots. So really want to press into the adhesions or the knots and hold, and then slowly release until you feel the knots release. And what we're trying to do is create a little bit of inflammation and break apart the adhesion, the fascia is sticking together to make up for a lack of strength. Also, people, when they're really tense, you're having the pain, twitch, pain cycle. So after the upward effleurage movements, we're doing a jaw pull. And I like to do buccinator massage and then a few butterflies. And we're always massaging the temples. I like to do along the brow bone acupressure spots. You'll want to do a lot more acupressure rather than manipulate the skin when there's a lot of acne present. We don't want to manipulate the skin too much when there's acne or active acne. Also, massage will make you create more oil. So there'll be more oil production through the week after a massage. And with acne clients, you don't want to stimulate the skin too much like that. So here we're doing a little petrissage on the forehead. This is the most important, and I would focus on the center if there's a concern for the wrinkles on the forehead between the brows, the 11s, or the whatever you want to call them. And then we're doing Tanaka or Japanese lymphatic drainage here, which is a more firm type of lymphatic drainage. So we're working the fluid down into the lymphocytes in the décolleté, and a lot of them are under the armpits. So we're pulling from the chin, from the central face, and from the forehead down to those lymphocytes. We always want to end on the temple. Now we're going to do a compress, just like a nice hug for the face. Gently press over the eyes because the eyes are always tired. That really helps to relieve tension. And we'll remove all of the rice bran oil. And previously, before the massage, I added goji berry mask as well as a radio frequency mask into a dish and mix them up. The goji berry mask has a nice cucumber and mint fragrance. The radio frequency mask has 20% vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, aloe, organic silica, and it's super soothing. So we're adding goji berry into that, and then we're going to perform radio frequency. And radio frequency helps to heat up the reticular dermis to stimulate the fibroblasts to create more collagen elastin. It's a tightening device. So we're going to start on the neck. We're going to do a couple minutes there, and then we'll circle along the jaw and focus on under the chin and along the jaw area. We're going to do radio frequency for 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. It really depends on what the client's goals are and what other procedures you're doing during the facial. So we're going to do triangles from the chin to the jaw to the temple, and then we'll work under the eye. So we're doing circles along the jaw here, triangles under the eye. And then when we move to the forehead, I always like to have one of my hands touching the forehead to make sure that it's not heating up too much, because there's less tissue, and if they heat up too much, it could be a little uncomfortable. So I just like to make sure. Now we're going to remove the radio frequency mask. The radio frequency mask also has DMEA, which is a skin tightening supplement. It really helps to increase the effectivity of radio frequency. And I like to put everything into my bowl to go sterilize that in the bathroom when I leave. And I like to put all the products that I used out so that I can write it all down at the end of the facial. So here we're removing the mask, and then I'm going to use first a toner. I'll spray the cucumber toner hydration, and then I'll do an ageless skin hydrating serum again. And then we'll do the Citrus C Nourishing Cream, which has an oil-based vitamin C, which is called tetrahexadecyl ascorbate, which actually penetrates the cells better than ascorbic acid. Then we'll choose the appropriate moisturizer. I'm using Cactine Balancing Moisturizer, and if it's the daytime, I'm going to do an SPF 30. If it's the evening, I give them an option of not using that so they can sleep and everything. But that completes the Microdermafacial with an added dermaplaning.